Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. In a joint communique, the Sultanate and Estonia agreed to develop bilateral cooperation between the two countries. The Higher Committee for Oman University project discusses developments of scholarship program to prepare academic cadres. And His Excellency Minister of the Interior meets with members of the main and media committees of the election of Shura Council members for the 8th term. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Excellency Taavi Rõivas, Prime Minister of Estonia, concluded today his official visit to the Sultanate that lasted for 3 days. The Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of Estonia issued a joint communique on mutual cooperation in different fields.
A joint communique was issued today between the governments of the Sultanate and the Republic of Estonia, stating that the governments of Oman and Estonia, taking into consideration the importance of their joint interests and seeking to boost relations of friendships and developing joint cooperation in the fields of economy, energy, transport, communications, IT, sciences, education, culture, tourism and sports, and in light of what have been achieved by the Sultanate in many economic and social sectors under the reign of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, and what had been accomplished of progress in Estonia, and on the occasion of the official visit of the Estonian Prime Minister to Oman, a session of official talks was held between Oman and Estonia at the premises of the Council of Ministers in Muscat. The Omani side was presided over by His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, and the Estonian side by His Excellency Taavi Rõivas, Prime Minister. The two sides reached the following: developing and extending political, diplomatic, economic and cultural cooperation serving the interests of the two countries, cooperation in the context of regional and international events, seeking to enhance equality, dialogue and solving disputes by peaceful means. The two sides should recognize the importance of keeping the stability of global energy markets and the need to ensure supplies of sustainable energy as well as economic diversity for development purposes on the long run. Enhancing joint cooperation in the fields of industry, energy, transport, sciences, innovations, information technology, communications, construction and manufacturing, building materials, industry of medicine and foodstuff, protecting environment and agriculture, tourism, education and health services. The two parties emphasized on the importance of regular consultations between the ministries concerned and institutions of the state in different bilateral issues of mutual concern, besides regional and international matters. The two sides agreed on signing an agreement to avoid double taxation and encourage and protect investment and economic cooperation in the near future. The two sides stressed on the need on communications among nations and to support and facilitate travel among citizens of the two countries. The two sides emphasized on the importance of cooperation in the fields of culture, sciences and exchange of expertise, building skills and participation in forums and scientific conferences, and to develop liaison between institutions of higher education. The two sides took into consideration the needs of making necessary procedures of investment in the government and private sectors. The two sides stressed on the necessity to reinforce commercial relations in all levels, and in this regard the two sides are looking forward to benefit from the exchange of commercial delegations and to organize commercial exhibitions. Taking advantage from available opportunities to develop trading relations among representatives of the business sector to set up joint projects and paying attention to small and medium enterprises in the economic developments. The two parties stressed on cooperation between the chambers of commerce and industry of both countries, besides exchanging information on opportunities of trade and investment.
The Higher Committee for Oman University project in its 5th meeting of the year discussed developments of scholarship program to prepare cadres for Oman University, besides presenting an overview of current development until now of the project, containing the latest review of staged achievements. The meeting also had a look at visual display on recommendations related to a plan of developing the site and facilities of the university city and their alternative implementation elections. It also reviewed proposals of the designs of the institutional identity logo proposed for the university. The meeting was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed, advisor to His Majesty the Sultan and chairman of the committee. His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of the Interior, met with the chairman and members of the main committee of the election of Shura Council members for the 8th term. The meeting dealt with committee's tasks in steering the election operation and its preparedness for the day of elections, the 25th of October, and discussed latest preparations for this important event. His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of the Interior, also met the chairman and members of the media committee and acquainted with awareness roles of the importance of participation in the election, as well as committee's efforts in highlighting this national event in an honorable way. The minister expressed his appreciation for the media coverage on the election development. Discussion on the Cooperation Council Prize for Municipal Work, Strategic Urban Planning, and that related to developing centers and departments for municipal training and Gulf Construction Code topped matters of the 19th meeting of Their Highnesses and Excellencies, the ministers concerned with municipal affairs in the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. The meeting was hosted by the Qatari capital Doha. The meeting also discusses possibilities of reorganizing work teams, conferences and workshops specialized in municipal work fields, as well as matters related to municipal databases, urban environment and city beautification. Still to come in our news bulletin. A workshop on writing short stories and articles is held in the Wilaya of Deba. View of progress of good relations between the Sultanate and the United Kingdom, as well as ways of enhancing them in all fields to serve joint interests, topped the discussions of His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Muhsin al-Shuraiqi, Inspector General of Police and Customs, when he received Sir Bernard Hogan-Ho, Police Commissioner of London Metropolitan. During the meeting, they discussed aspects of existing cooperation between the two sides in fields of mutual concern. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Jamie Bowden, Ambassador of the United Kingdom accredited to the Sultanate, and Major General Sulaiman bin Muhammad al-Harthi, Assistant to the Inspector General of Police and Customs for Administrative and Financial Affairs. Enhancing the culture of human rights among participants and shedding light on rights and obligations in the society were the center of a training course organized by the National Human Rights Commission in cooperation with Omani Women's Association in the Governorate of Muscat. A number of journalists and employees from various government bodies took part in the event. The Arab Center for Education on International Human Rights Law in France praised advanced levels achieved by the Sultanate in the field of human rights through signing a number of international agreements related to human rights topics such as justice, equality, and rejection of all forms of discrimination. Great attention was accorded by the Sultanate to women as to achieve equality between two genders in various fields of life through national regulations aiming to protect human rights and achievements of women. Under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Saif bin Mohammed Al Hosni, Ministry of Health, Under Secretary for Health Affairs, in the presence of His Excellency Hamoud bin Khalfan Al Harthi, Under Secretary of Education and Counselor at the Ministry of Education, a ceremony to honor the winners of Facts for Life book held in Wataya today. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Rubai.
At the Institute of Health Sciences Hall, in the presence of officials, a large number of students, teachers, nurses, students' relatives and general public, the Minister of Health organized a ceremony to honor winners of the Facts for Life book competition. The competition is being organized by the Minister of Health and the Ministry of Education and UNICEF. The competition encourages students to actively participate in the health projects that result in producing information with healthy lifestyle, the aims of which to provide information that will assist all to be aware of health ways in life away from the disease. During the ceremony, a number of speeches were delivered praising such events. Then, the chief guest honored male and female students in the competitions, where students Maram bint Mohammed Al-Miqbaliya from North Al-Batina Governorate took first place position in the Sultanate. Second place went to Ala bint Salim Al-Ma'mariya from Seah Al-Afia Basic School, North Sharqiya Governorate. Third place, student Tasneem Ibrahim from Fatima bint Asad Basic School, Governorates of Al-Zahira. And the fourth place, students Amira Musad from Abu Madani Basic School, Al-Wusta Governorate. Facts for Life book competition started from the beginning of 1990s in the joint efforts of other international organizations such as the UNICEF, the UNESCO and the United Nations Population Fund. At the end of the ceremony, the chief guest and attendees toured the exhibition, which included a collection of books and resources about the competition. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television.
Muscat Securities Market MSM General Index today lost 12.69 points, comprising a decline by 0.21% to close at 5,905 points compared to the last session, which stood at 5,918 points. The trading value today stood at 2.8 million Omani Riyals, comprising a decline by 9.85% compared to the last session, which stood at 3.14 million Omani Riyals. The report released by MSM pointed out that the market value fell by 0.6% to reach about 14.7 million Omani Riyals. In a ceremony that came to highlight the role of Omani women in enhancing the development march in all fields, Omani Women Association in the Wilaya of Sohar marked the Omani Women's Day. The celebration came under the theme, The Role of Women in Decision-Making. Academics and specialists from Sultan Qaboos University and Gulf Cooperation Council countries took part in the event, in addition to a big number of women from the Wilaya of the Governorate of North Batina. During the ceremony, the great position reached by women in the Sultanate during the Blessed Renaissance era was highlighted due to great care accorded by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos to women, culminating with assigning a day for Omani women. A workshop on writing short stories and articles was organized by the Ministry of Heritage and Culture in the Wilaya of Daba in the Governorate of Musandam. The workshop aims to learn new methods of writing short stories and articles and to upgrade levels of writing by preparing a generation capable of creativity and innovative writing. The workshop illustrated the importance of maturity, considering that the current generation is the one who will create right way through using modern techniques in writing. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with accumulative clouds and scattered rainfall over the Hajar Mountains and the nearby areas and the governorates of Wusta and Dhofar. Winds will be easterly to northeasterly light to moderate. Rest of the Sultanate southeasterly light to moderate, occasionally active. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. In a joint communique, the Sultanate and Estonia agreed to develop bilateral cooperation between the two countries. The Higher Committee for Oman University project discusses developments of scholarship program to prepare academic cadres. And His Excellency Minister of the Interior meets with members of the main and media committees of the election of Shura Council members for the 8th term. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.